Well, so why don't we just go ahead and jump right in, Sean? How about it?
Sounds good. I'll let you
So,
introduce the Alexa.
okay. So those of you out there may already have an Alexa. Some of this may sound like familiar territory, but for those of you who don't know, Alexa is a device that you can speak um, to basically do tasks related to the internet or tasks related to computers, but without actually having to handle any kind of a button, right? So you can speak to it directly and get information from it. It connects to your Wi-Fi at home, and from that you can connect to the internet and get online and speak to the device directly to get different types of information. And it's really nice because it's totally hands-free. So there's no buttons for the most part, right, Sean, to be pushed. And this really has become a really useful tool for a lot of folks who are blind. And today what we're going to do is show you, Sean just showed it. Can everybody see the Sean screen?
Unmute. Stop share. Unmute space. Mute.
If you can't see my screen, no worries, because we've got an added little feature here. Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 1:21 p.m.
Oh, nice and clear.
Nice and loud. Hang on.
Yes.
Turn that down a little bit.
Alexa. JAWS home volume mixer.
Y'all may hear my JAWS in the background here as well.
Volume for JAWS. Toolbar meeting. Volume for meeting. Toolbar. Volume for Zoom up. Toolbar. Volume for system sounds. Volume for JAWS home. Toolbar. Volume for Amazon Alexa up to 0%. 1%.
Okay.
Task switching. Meeting controls.
Alexa, what's the weather?
Fort Worth. It's 65 degrees Fahrenheit with cloudy skies. Today, you can look for intermittent clouds.
There you go, Sean.
A high of 78 degrees and a low of 63 degrees.
Like Tracy said, it is pretty nice outside. Hey, speaking of, Alexa, what's the weather in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania?
Currently, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, it's 57 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies and sun. Today, you can expect partly sunny weather with a high of 60 degrees and a low of 46 degrees.
Okay, so that works.
Yes, nice and clear. Very much. So again, what we're going to do today, guys, is give you a kind of an overview of the Alexa, maybe talk about the setup process for it for those of you who don't know, but mostly just focusing on the advantages for it. In fact, mine is talking to me right now. I have it plugged in next to me. So some of you out there may hear us over the Zoom chat, and Alexa may answer. So just keep that in mind. So some of you may imagine that this device could really provide a lot of advantages to someone who's blind, because again, it's hands-free, it's all voice interactive. Okay. So
let's talk a little bit about the setup process. Now, I'm not going to be able to share my screen because we kind of found out last week that if I share my screen, then you can't hear voiceover. And anyway, we'll try the lesser of two evils here.
Words. Speaking rate 650.
So I've opened up the Alexa app, and it's a pretty standard iPhone app. So you got your content area in the middle of the screen. You got a menu button that's in the top left corner. And then you have these buttons at the bottom.
Devices, tab, 5 of 5.
Can you all hear that okay? Kevin?
Alert from Alligo TVI to everyone. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Devices, tab, 5 of 5.
Good. You're loud and clear, Sean.
All right. So bottom right corner is the devices tab, and that's how you add a new device.
Devices.
To your Echo or your Amazon. And the way this works is you got to have an Amazon account to use this, because as you set up each device, you add them to your account. So I have something like, gosh, I think we have like 7 or 8 Echoes all around the apartment. have one up here, have one in the kitchen, one in the living room, bedrooms, all over the place. And what's really cool is if you set them up right, you can use them kind of like intercoms. So you can call from one room to another. You can make an announcement that goes through all of them. Some of the other benefits of having them in different places is you can play music on them. So you could say, play music, play modern country everywhere, and it plays it on all of your Echo devices. So let's look here.
Menu. Button. Add a new device or group. Button.
So the top here of the screen, it's got a button that says add new device or group. So I'll just kind of briefly go in here and just kind of show you what this looks like.
Possible text. Devices. Echo Alexa done. Button. Add device Echo. Smart home. And accessories. Button.
Oh, wow. So it's actually been kind of a little bit since I've been in here, but it used to be that it would just say add Echo. But now, and this is becoming really popular, not only can you add your Echoes here, but you can also add your smart home devices, like if you have the smart bulbs or the smart plugs. They make these smart plugs that you can plug things into, like a lamp. So that way you could be, I don't know, downstairs and say, turn on the upstairs bedroom lamp. And Echo device will do that. There's also other devices like the Nest thermostat. There's several thermostats out there that you can connect with your Echo. So yeah, you can control your thermostat from your Echo. They have a microwave. It's made by Amazon. It's called the Amazon Basics microwave. It's a smaller microwave, but you can use that as well. You can set the timer. You can say like microwave for 1 minute, and it starts it for you. I have one of those. It's downstairs. Unfortunately, it's not connected. We switched the Wi-Fi here recently, and I still hadn't reconnected it. What else? Thinking here. There's just a whole bunch of different accessories and devices that you can
alert 18177076008 raised hand.
I think we got a raised hand 008.
Hello.
That is Anthony. Go ahead, Anthony.
Kevin, you can also do it if you're getting, because my wife got the smart bulbs in the house and she uses them for me, and you can also change the colors, and you can change the amount of intensity you want. And you can also, if you're getting deliveries from Amazon, it will send you notifications that you got your delivery or so forth.
That's so true. That is so true. I do that all the time if I order from Amazon, and it'll also alert you, when it's X amount away from you. So I've had it say your package is within 10 stops or something like that, so you can have a better idea of when it's going to be there. Thanks, Anthony.
You're welcome.
Also, I had heard that about the bulbs as well, that you can change the colors of them and make them dim or brighter. I've been wanting to get some of those. Funny enough, even though I can't see them, it just sounds nice to be able to control your lights like that. So yeah, it's pretty simple. I don't have a new Echo to try to set up right now, but basically you would add it. You pick the kind of device it is, whether it's an Echo Dot or the standard Echo. I got a standard Echo here. It's like the big one. It looks like kind of like a big pint glass. It's kind of textured on the outside, and I think mine is gray, but you can get them in all different colors. So make a fashion statement there. What am I forgetting about the app here, Kevin? You think of anything?
Speech on.
Well,
Speech
it's
off.
certainly a lot that could be discussed, but why don't we focus a little bit more on some of the practical applications for the Alexa when it comes to someone who's blind or visually impaired. What way I think of Alexa, it's almost as if it's like a version of Siri in a way, right, Sean?
That's right.
But without it being a part of an iPhone. And so some of you out there may already be familiar with some of the advantages of Siri. But those same features, advantages extend over to Alexa. So, it could be something as simple as maybe what is the time, right, Sean?
Right, like we were doing earlier, the time or the weather, getting those updates.
Right, or the count, or maybe perhaps the forecast, like you did a moment ago. But also, what this is from my experience, I find it particularly helpful for creating calendar appointments, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And because being blind, we don't have the advantage or the ability to write things down on a calendar as someone might, or to put it in an iPhone. Perhaps we do that with VoiceOver, but Alexa can be a way to do that a little more quickly, right?
Right. So yeah, I've done that before. I don't remember if I have it set up for my calendar right now. Let's see. Alexa, add to my calendar.
I don't see a calendar set up. Want me to send a link to your phone to set up your calendar?
Yes.
Okay, sent.
And there's a real handy thing that she does sometimes. I've also seen this happen, like when you do recipes. When you find a recipe on, you can. Well, let's see here. Alexa, find a recipe on beef stew.
Okay, for beef stew, I recommend beef stew, 3 hours, 15 minutes to make, serves 4. What would you like? Start recipe. Send it to your phone, or hear next recipe.
Send it to my phone.
Okay, sent. To hear the instructions step by step, just ask me to start your recipe.
So yeah, she can send the recipes to your phone, or she can read them out to you, step by step like that.
Yeah, and that's a good point with the phone, because what you do with Alexa, it then appears on the phone, and be it a calendar appointment or a recipe, or maybe even a reminder. But that's what I like about it is knowing that information is going to be translated to the app, and then I, with VoiceOver, can read it. Really does make for a pretty quick response, right, Sean?
Right. Another thing, speaking of cooking, I mean, these Echo devices are really handy for timers. So what's neat is you can, earlier today I did a frozen pizza in the oven, so I asked Echo to set a timer for 18 minutes. But the other thing you can do is say you're cooking multiple items in the kitchen. You can set multiple timers. So you can have 2, 3, or 4 different timers going at one time. We definitely use that a lot around here.
That's pretty cool. One thing I've noticed with some of the clients I've had over the years who have these is, yes, they use them for timers in the kitchen and finding recipes, but also they're helpful for setting reminders for perhaps something like a medication. Sometimes people have medications to take throughout the course of a day, and maybe there's a morning and an afternoon regimen that they are to take. And so a family member or that individual can set up reminders throughout the day to prompt them to take their medication, right?
Right. And somebody, I think it was a couple of years ago, and I don't remember if you were at this appointment, Kevin, but we had a family member that was telling about one use they found for the Echoes. Is they had a family member that had the beginning stages of Alzheimer's, and they'd set up reminders for this person throughout the day to remind them to take their medication.
Mm-hmm.
So that's super handy idea there.
Yeah, and since we were talking a moment ago about the kitchen, there is also the advantage of being able to create lists, right, Sean? So
That's right.
For example, creating a grocery list.
Alexa, create my 3rd grocery list.
What should I name the list?
Household essentials.
create a list called Household Essentials, right?
Yes.
I've created Household Essentials list. What should I add to it?
Paper towels, eggs, milk, ketchup, and bacon.
I've added paper towels, eggs, milk, ketchup to your Household Essentials list. What else?
Bacon, ground beef, chicken.
Bacon, ground beef, chicken added to Household Essentials.
You're on a high protein diet, aren't you?
I am. Alexa, read my household essentials list.
Alert,
You
Tracy
have
raised
2
hand.
items on your Household
Alert,
Essentials
Tracy raised
list.
hand.
Bacon, ground beef, chicken, and paper towels, eggs, milk, ketchup.
All right. Looks like Tracy has a question. Tracy, can you
I
go
unmuted
ahead?
her.
Okay,
You got
thank
it.
you.
Go ahead,
Yes,
Tracy.
my question, well, I wanted to just share that at Christmas time, I created a Christmas list. And so the boys didn't know anything about what I was adding or not adding because they didn't even know that list existed. So we were able to do a Christmas list, and then I could look up my Christmas list when I was out shopping. And then I also, on my grocery list, I can email that to myself. And so I can go on my Alexa app on my phone and see what my grocery list is, or I can just email myself my list, and then I can just copy. I can
Dr.
print,
Moore.
and then I have a list in my hand
Mute.
also
Space. Mute.
whatever I'm shopping with.
All you.
That's awesome.
Rebecca Smith, co-host. Alert 121.
All right, we have another question. Looks like Sean, Rebecca.
Escape. Unmute. Space.
Okay.
Hello.
Hey guys, it's Lisa.
Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Lisa.
It's Lisa. I have a question. So when you make these lists, can you check it in the app, or do you have to have it emailed to you?
You don't have to. You can have it read to you. You can check it in the app. I haven't had one emailed to me before, but I imagine if you had that set up, you could.
Yeah, it updates
So
on
if
the
you're
app,
at the
Lisa.
store, you just look it up on the app in the store.
Right.
Right. And in fact, there's actually an option. I think it's a skill that would have to be downloaded, but I think there's an option where you and other members of your family can share the same list. And so you can both add to it individually. Like if someone had a spouse, for example,
014775 for lower hand.
add to the they could add to the list. And I've even heard it, maybe Sean, you've seen this too, where that person could be in the store and they could check off the item off the list in the Alexa app, and it'll actually appear on the other person's app at home in real time. Right, Sean?
Right.
Okay, so then you just go and clear it when you're done, and then that's easy to do as well. Okay, and then one more question: when you do set up the reminders, do you have to do how do you do that so it's continuous? Is there a continuous button, or you have? I obviously don't think you have to do it daily. Do you?
Let's try it.
Yeah, let's try it.
Alexa, set a reminder for every Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. support group.
What's the reminder for?
Support group.
Okay, I'll remind you every Wednesday at 9:30 a.m.
Well, there you go.
Well, thank you.
Alexa, delete my Wednesday 9:30 a.m. reminder.
You have one reminder. Support group, every Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. Do you want me to cancel all instances of this reminder?
Yes.
Support group for every Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. canceled.
Awesome. You learn something new every day.
Speaking of learning, go ahead, Lisa. I was going to say, speaking of learning, doesn't Alexa learn too, Sean? Isn't there a way for it to learn additional skills, abilities?
Yes, I mean there are millions of skills. Now it's kind of funny. When I first bought my first Echo, it was, probably 5-6 years ago, and at that time there were like 12 skills, and now there's
Alert, Tracy raised hand.
hundreds of thousands of them.
Alert, Tracy raised hand.
Go ahead, Tracy's got a question.
So delete something. You can also delete something by just telling her in my grocery list, delete cheese or delete something, and she'll delete it also. So you don't always have to go to your Alexa app.
Oh, good. That's handy.
Yeah. And then for announcing, like I can talk to one of my apps and tell her to announce dinner's ready. Then all the other apps in your house says dinner's ready.
Yeah,
That's nice.
I did know that. Something that some people may not be aware of also is in the Alexa app, there's a, oops, I made her wake
Alexa, stop.
up. Hey, I'm going to get everybody's going here.
It's going to be Alexa party.
There's a tab here in the bottom that says Ask Lady A. And so if I hit this, what's the weather?
In Fort Worth, it's 65 degrees Fahrenheit with cloudy skies. Today, you can look for intermittent clouds with a high.
And that's on my phone. I was doing that through my phone, not through the shared window here in the device. So you can, if you're not at home, you're not around one of your devices, you're outside or wherever, you can just open the Lady A app and then hit this tab down here, and you can do all kinds of stuff. There are some limitations.
Alert 181770760. Alert
Anthony has a question.
Yes, Sean and Kevin. As the Alexa isn't just strictly for iPhones. You can use it on your Android devices as well, because I'm sitting there trying to get my smartphone to communicate with mine, because I know my wife uses hers and she's an Android phone. The other thing you can also do is you can also, if you want to set your alarm, not a reminder but an alarm, it will wake you up as well.
Ah, yes.
And that's
yeah, we use the alarm function here. You can also set different personalities for your alarms. So they've got like a list of different actors and musicians, which it's kind of funny. I used to have one of them on there, and then I forgot I had it set, and I'm walking through the house, and all of a sudden I hear this voice, "Hey, what's up?" You know, I'm like just about jumped out of my skin.
And I know that if you may have more than one person using the Alexa in your household, so it will configure to your voice as well, or ask you questions to make sure that he's got the right person.
That is correct.
And if you're using the right Alexa in the room, or do you want to use another Alexa?
Yeah, let's try that here. I wonder if, let's see if it'll do that on my phone. Who am I?
Sean is speaking. This is Sean's account.
Now we do have two different profiles set up, so she will recognize either one of us. Let's see here. Oh, you know what? Lady A is a great DJ. So I don't know. I don't know if.
Alert from Mindy Keen to everyone. Remember the drop-in feature.
Oh yeah, yeah. Good thing, dear. Mindy said, "Remember the drop-in feature." So if I do, let's see. I don't know if I can do it from my phone, but let's try. Oop. Let's see. Drop in on living room.
I cannot contact living room because it is offline.
Oops. Well, shucks. Let's try. Drop in on kitchen. Oh, there we go. Hello? Anybody home?
Well, I guess no one's home, Sean.
Wait. Hello? No. Nobody home.
I would think this would be a particularly helpful feature for folks who are blind who have children. right? To
It
be able
is.
to be able to drop in.
Oh,
on
it
them.
is. Believe me, it is.
If you can't look across, the yard perhaps, or into the other room, it's your way of.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you've had some
Especially when
experiences with that.
kids start fighting, we'll just drop in and
Mm-hmm.
stay there for a few, a minute or two, and then, hey.
Is there anybody out there who maybe is visually impaired or blind who has children that have found something like this useful?
Alert, Tracy raised hand.
Oh,
Alert, Tracy
Tracy.
raised hand.
Yes, all
Tracy?
the time. All the time. Yep.
Alert,
And I
Tracy has
can
lowered
even
hand.
announce different things, like for them to stop or
VI raised hand. Alert, Ali Dull TV,
so,
I raised hand.
so I do different things to figure out what they're doing and making for sure that they're being good. Yeah. And then also have there is the Echo Show.
oh yeah.
One. So you have to be careful which one you order. And I can put stuff in front of it and tell it, just describe this to me.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
And I do that all the time. And I was making something and I needed lemon extract and I had vanilla and lemon and another one. And so I held them up and it told me which one was the lemon.
That's cool. I've been wanting to get the show. I don't have that one yet. I have, gosh, like I said, I have a lot of these.
So there must be a camera built into that, correct? For it to be able
Yes,
to
there's a
recognize.
camera and
Okay.
it will show you what is on, it'll say it and show it, but it'll also, read it out loud. The only thing, I have that one in the kitchen now, but the only thing that I
Alert,
don't
Ali Dull
like
TV
about
has
it
lowered hand.
is because it's, if I ask it a recipe, it will show me the recipe. So I go to a different one and ask it to show me recipes or tell me recipes.
Right.
And
Interesting.
show it to me on the show, but it'll read it to me on all my other ones.
That's fantastic.
Gotcha.
And
So
what
I do
version?
that.
What version of the Echo is that does that? Is it the second or the third?
I want to say it's a second because I think the third doesn't do that. That skill doesn't work with.
Yeah, I cannot remember.
Yeah. I tried it on mine. It didn't work.
Yeah, I cannot remember which one it is, but it's very specific on which one it is. I'm
Sure.
also on a email blog that like they would tell me. I get emails all the time how to get the Echo or the Dot or whatever to do this or that, and it's been very, very helpful. And it's through somebody that I actually knew from when I worked in Austin, and he was a blind tech person who taught all kinds of stuff to how to get JAWS working with all my government apps for my computer, and I could end up finding that information out if y'all want that information.
Okay.
I can find that out about which show it is and
Yeah, that'd be useful.
Yeah, that'd be
email
very useful.
address for
Thank you,
that
Tracy.
email. Okay, yeah.
Thanks. Hey, I
Ali,
think-
Ali had a question.
Yeah,
right?
I was about to say, Allie had a question.
Rebecca, can we unmute Ali?
She's unmuted.
It really wasn't a question. It was honestly just an embarrassing story about stumbling
Oh,
upon.
we love
We
them.
love these.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the announcement app, I didn't realize that it announced on every single Alexa in your whole house. So he's almost 2 years old. So he loves to do animal sounds and, lots of embarrassing noises all the time. And, my husband is on conference calls all day long. And so we were practicing doing pig sounds and, he loved to hear the announcement, doo-doo, he loved to hear that noise. And, so of course it was announcing us making like oinking and neighs and all kinds of embarrassing sounds, all broadcasted through my husband's conference call during his meetings. So
That reminds me, I was actually reading an article this morning because it was about Zoom, and they were talking about how I guess a year or two ago, there was some guy doing an interview with one of the news channels, and he was in his office, and the door like behind him opened up, and his 3 kids come bounding in the room, and their mother's chasing him, trying to catch him while he's on network news. Greatness.
Alert, Alice Wyatt raised hand.
Alice has a question.
Alert, Alice Wyatt raised hand.
Alice?
Alert, Alice Wyatt raised hand.
Can you
Alert,
hear
Alice
me?
Wyatt had lowered hand.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I wondered if anybody had Cortana.
Cortana?
Cortana, yeah.
So Cortana is built into Windows 10. I think they have a speaker as well. Kind of everybody jumped on this whole. First it was Siri, and then there was Lady A, and then there was Cortana. Now there's Google Home, I think, and yeah, kind of everybody's come up with their own assistant. I got Windows 10 right here, and I just never really put all that much effort into Cortana. I mean,
Yeah, we never used it either. I just wondered if anybody has used it and if it is useful.
I had someone tell me they had it set up, and I don't know how you do this, but they had it set up in their Windows 10 computer to where they could have, they had a big library of music, and they could ask it to play different songs and such. So that's useful. But, like I was saying earlier, Lady A is a great DJ, and for a small fee, unless you happen to have the Amazon Prime feature, which allows you to get free shipping and on your Amazon orders, you get free access to Amazon videos and music as well. You can do something like this. Alexa, play modern country.
Okay, here's a station for you, Top Country, on Amazon Music.
And there you go. Alexa, stop.
One feature I like that I don't know that you have to have Amazon Music for this, but you can have Alexa play background music or background sounds. Sometimes when you're studying or when you're working on something, you kind of want something in the background that's not
Alexa,
too distracting.
Play Rainforest.
Rainforest Soundscapes by Natural White Noise. Music for meditation, relaxation, sleep on Amazon Music.
Hey, we got a great background here now, Kevin.
There we go. Right. So there's definitely a lot of options. I'm at this point. Tracy, you have a question?
Alexa, stop. Now there are apps for that as well. It's not just Amazon Music. There are skills built into Alexa. Oops, I keep forgetting. Where you can have her play all kinds of different backgrounds like
Alert
that.
from Ali Dull TVI to everyone. We always ask sleep sounds to play oscillating fan for my son for a noise machine.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, nice.
Ali said that they use a one called Sleep Sounds to play like an oscillating fan. That's quite handy.
Alert, Tracy
I'm
has lowered
totally
hand.
going to use that.
I believe Tracy had another question or comment.
Alert from Mindy
Yes.
Keene to everyone. You can also create a personal music
It is
playlist.
the Echo Show, the second generation.
Okay.
Yeah.
We will get that added to the email that goes out this Friday, to where everybody knows about that. And
That's
maybe
a really
yeah.
cool feature. And again, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's a identification mode, right? Similar to Seeing AI, where it
kind of like tap see, I believe.
It'll identify. That's really cool. I'm gonna have to check that out. If I get another Echo, that's
You have to get the show, the
right.
second generation. Mindy mentioned that you can also create playlists with Lady A here, so you can have multiple playlists, and it's quite simple. You create the playlist first. You might have to You might have to explain this, Mindy, because you do it a lot more than I do. I'm volunteering you. Maybe.
I hear cricket, Sean.
Come on, Mindy.
Sorry, I was in the middle of eating. You basically just tell it to create a playlist and it will ask you what name you want it to be. So you tell her, and then when you start playing music, then you just tell her, add the song that's playing to my family music playlist, and she'll do it.
Yeah, that's super handy. We've done that for parties and all kinds of stuff. You can get a good list of things going.
So Sean, I feel that we may have some folks with us today who are a little more academic in that they're maybe in school. What advantages would there be maybe to the Alexa when it comes to school or college?
Well, certainly could use it for research. You could do something like, let's see here. Let me think of one.
Alert, Tracy raised hand.
Alexa.
Alert, Tracy raised hand.
How big is an elephant?
An elephant typically weighs between 6,600 pounds and 12,000 pounds when fully grown.
Wow. Alexa, what's the biggest whale?
The largest whale is the blue whale.
Alexa, how much does a blue whale weigh?
An adult blue whale typically weighs 300,000 pounds. Due to their size, blue whales are never weighed whole, but cut into blocks and weighed by parts, so there has never been a precise measurement of the weight of a blue whale.
Yikes.
That's a lot of weight. I feel like that's what I'm going to weigh after this quarantine's over with.
We just finished a project that Jacob had for history, and it was the California Gold Rush, and he needed a couple more references to different websites. And so she gave us, Lady A gave us a couple of different websites with more information about the California Gold Rush.
Wow.
So we were able to use the reference that she gave us and then write up some of the stuff that she had told us and read us about the
Participants raised
California
hand.
Gold Rush.
Alert, 2 participants raised hand.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so she helps. And if there's math questions, she helps.
Oh,
If
yeah.
there's
Fantastic
anything about-
point.
yes,
Fantastic
yes.
point.
And
Math.
there's stuff about math and like how many quarts are in a gallon and how many tablespoons are in an ounce, and all that stuff. she
Alexa,
does.
spell Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania is spelled P-E-N-N-S-Y-L-V-A-N-I-A.
There you go. You can use it for spelling,
Yes.
which I
Alert,
use
Tracy raised hand.
quite a bit.
Alert, Tracy has lowered.
We have another question.
From James, I believe.
Go ahead, James.
Yes, just one thing I picked up on recently. You can ask your device to Wikipedia any subject, and it will start reading the Wikipedia entry. And every paragraph or two, it'll ask you if you want to continue reading the rest of the entry.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So you can say like Wikipedia, say Alexa, Wikipedia, Richard Nixon, and it'll start reading the Wikipedia entry on Nixon.
Yeah, we've used that. They also seem to use reference.com, and there's some other ones I've found. WebMD.
How about it, Sean? Why don't we try one?
Let's see. Alexa, Wikipedia Richard Nixon.
Here's the Wikipedia
Alert,
article
James
on
Woodward has
Richard
lowered
Nixon.
hand.
Richard Milhouse Nixon was the 37th President of the United States, serving from 1969 until 1974. The nation's 36th Vice President from 1953 to 1961. He came to national prominence as a representative and senator from California. After 5 years in the White House that saw the conclusion to the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War and the establishment of the Environmental
Alexa.
Protection Agency.
Stop. Awesome.
So fantastic. So again, it'd be great for anyone doing research, but especially if you know, for folks who are in school. I always think to myself that, you know, what if I had had these tools when I was in college? How much more easier college may have been in some ways, right?
Right.
Yeah, but you know, you can do math with it, spelling, research, good tools.
Let me see if this one still works. Alexa, Windows keyboard commands. Nope.
I don't know that one.
There's one somebody made. This will segue into another good point here, is that someone made a skill that will quiz you over Windows keyboard commands and JAWS keyboard commands and such. Now, in the app, there's let me find it here real quick. Yeah, so it's under the menu, and the option is called Blueprints. So you can basically create your own skill. You can do like a Q&A skill, like where you ask a question and it gives you an answer. So a cute one a friend of mine made is he made a skill for when he has company over, to where they can ask, like, where's the TV remote, or what, different things in the household, like where to find different things, and they can use Alexa to tell you that. So that's Blueprint. You can create your own skill, and if it's popular enough, you could even publish it to where everybody could use it.
One thing that Alice, you have a question?
I'm amazed at how Alexa is controlling my TV. Everything you're saying and doing, the pictures, everything is coming up. I don't know if that's the meeting or if it's controlling it, but everything that you've talked about has come up on my computer.
Oh, yeah. That's probably happening to everybody.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah, that's me. I keep trying to say Lady A so it doesn't set everybody's. But, I wonder what happens when somebody leaves their TV on at home, and I wonder how many Lady A's go off all over the country when, certain commercials come on.
I had a thought occur to me, Sean, with Lady A.
Alice Wyatt has lowered hand.
I don't know, some of you guys out there probably listen to books, and what's really cool is if you have an Audible account, Alexa will play books from your Audible account.
Oh yeah, Kevin, you got an Audible account?
I do have an Audible account. I used to have an Audible account. I don't have one at the moment.
Okay.
But I do have a few credits remaining. So what's cool is it will pick up where you left off last, even if you're listening to the book in the app. And also, for some of you guys out there, this goes back to maybe more of the academic folks, but Kindle reading app is a fantastic app with voiceover. And I have Kindle reading app. And if you have Alexa, Lady A, then she'll actually read the book to you on your Kindle reading app aloud. So it's really cool.
Yeah, it brings me to another point. NFB Newsline has a skill as well. So anybody that has NFB Newsline, you can enable that on your Lady A and use that from there. There are just so many, there's thousands and thousands of these different skills. There's even...
Alert, Tracy raised hand.
There's even...
Alert, Tracy.
Well, go ahead, Tracy. We'll get you unmuted here.
Tracy?
I can also go to Audible from her. I can have her call Audible
Oh, wow.
And then I don't have to go through any of the waiting prompts, like press 1 for English or press 2 for if you have a question for Audible, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
She just gets me right to the help desk, and then I can tell them to, take some of my books off because I'm already read them, so she can
Interesting.
calls a lot quicker for you. She could also, Jacob calls me from her, and it sounds like it's coming from George's phone, but he's standing right beside me. So, but it'll be Jacob at home, and he calls and says, "Can you please pick up McDonald's?"
That and everything we've talked about here, we've forgotten probably one of the most important ones.
Shopping, right, Sean?
No.
No?
I was thinking of games.
Alert, Tracy has lowered hand.
There are tons of games out there. So let's see. Alexa, play Jeopardy. Maybe.
Sean, you should have said, "What is Jeopardy?"
Alexa, what is Jeopardy? Alexa, play The Price is Right. She just doesn't like me. Let's try this. Let's see here. There we go. Hang on just a second.
We're having a technical difficulty.
Alexa,
Alert, Tracy raised hand.
play Jeopardy.
Alert, Tracy raised hand. Alert, Mary Canfield has joined the meeting.
Sean, your audio is cut out there for a second.
Did it?
Yeah.
Y'all didn't hear that?
I heard a little bit. I think I heard the music in the background.
Okay. So basically, it's the game, but there are tons of games on there. There's one.
Alert from Ali Dull TVI to everyone. Escape the room is fun. It's a good problem-solving game for kids and adults.
Escape the rooms. Ali mentioned that's a game. There's one called Magic Castle, where it's kind of like a old text adventure, where it kind of walks you through and it gives you choices. Do you want to walk down the path? Do you want to, walk in the forest?
Tracy has lowered hand.
There are a bunch of them out there. We had another question out there. Not Tracy, it was somebody else.
All new participants: Alice Wyatt, Ali Dull TVI, Bob Barnes, James Wood, Janet, Mary, Mindy Key, Rebecca Smith, Tracy, Zenobia Dav, 121.
It was Tracy. She lowered her hand again.
Okay.
Tracy, you there?
Yes. There's also Escape the Jurassic World. There is, and you say which choice you want. So these people are there and they're trying to get off, or do you go feed the dinosaur, or do you leave your bag and run away? And so there's different choices. There's also things for littler ones like SpongeBob and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
But Kevin, I emailed
cool.
you.
1-817-295-8455
one of the emails that I get from the group that I'm a member of. And so down at the bottom, it'll tell you the subscription email address and stuff like that for anybody.
Right.
So if y'all want to put that in the announcements or something
Okay.
Later.
Yeah, email it to me. Yeah, we'll share it.
It's very good.
More resources, the better.
Let me go ahead and talk, Kevin. Let me set this next part up because I wanted to play a little video of something else I found that Lady A will do that's pretty neat. So,
audio mute currently space unmute space
I'm gonna mute myself.
Space unmute currently audio set stop share but alert.
All right. So with you guys out there, I was just wanting to hear a little bit more from you about shopping. Has anybody out there done any shopping with Alexa? Have you found it? Oh, there's Tracy again. Tracy, go ahead. Tracy?
And I do shopping with her and I'll just tell her to add something to my cart. But I don't know whether she still is going ahead and ordering things, but I have asked her to order something before that I've already, and she'll say, okay, you've ordered this one before. Would you like to place an order today for the same thing? And so I can go ahead and get her to place the order, and I never had to go to my computer.
Oh, wow.
So that's nice. Yeah. And then some things I'll just say for her to add to my cart because I want to check the price of a couple of things first.
So you're able to shop for items individually to get the description and the pricing.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes. And you can even ask her, what are the deals for today? And so she'll tell you the different things that are up, you know, and on sale from Amazon.
Currently unmuted. Task switching. Alexa.
Okay, I'm back. I'll tell you a quick story. One time,
story time.
One time, my son was talking to Lady A, and he said something about flowers, and it said some bouquet of roses, blah blah blah, and then it said, "Do you want to order it?" And he goes, "Yes," and I'm like, "No, no, no." and then I found out there's a way you can set a passcode to where it'll ask you for the security code before it'll place an order. But yeah, I had to quickly go in there and cancel that. Okay, let me see. Hopefully it's not gonna be too loud, but I want to play this little commercial thing I found. It's called Alexa for Business.
Space, Alexa for Business and dash empower your...
You already know how Alexa helps you at home.
Mixer head. Mixer head.
Alexa keeps you up to date on current events.
Alexa, what's my flash briefing?
Here's your flash briefing from the Business Review, management tip of the day.
And on top of your schedule.
Alexa, remind me to pick up the kids at 5 p.m. today.
But what if Alexa could help you work more efficiently and be more productive? Introducing Alexa for Business. Now, Alexa can be your intelligent assistant wherever you go. Alexa can help you work from the comfort of your home.
Alexa, when's my first meeting today?
Oops. What happened?
The video cut out.
Now I lost my jaws.
You can't have it all, John. Sean.
Well, technical problems, we'll just paste that.
But I think there was enough of the video for some of those features to come through. Oh, there's Tracy again.
So have some reminders set for like months in advance. So I have a reminder that I've had set for months since November, and I'd get all the pumpkin seeds out of the pumpkins and all that. And now we have a time for in April that we're going to plant them. So it'll let us know. And I put on there where I had placed the pumpkin seeds so I could find them when I'm ready to do it. So I told her to remind me at 10 o'clock on, AM on whatever date to plant the pumpkin seeds. And I also told her where the pumpkin seeds were so I could find them.
Wow, that's awesome. All right. Sean, you still with us?
Yeah, I'm here. Just trying to turn my volumes down.
One other feature I think is helpful, and some of you may not be aware of this, but it is possible to request an Uber or Lyft with Alexa. Has anybody out there done that? Has anybody experienced that? Because I've done it, but I've not completed it. But I know that is a request you can make. You can say, Alexa, I'd like to request an Uber. And what it will do is it'll have to link to your account, your Uber account, and you have to give that permission. Once that happens, you can complete a ride request. Sean, have you done that before?
No, I knew it was possible, and I hadn't tried it yet. It's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like being able to do Uber, setting up an Uber through Siri.
Mm-hmm. Yes, right.
All right. Well, if anybody's got any questions, I think we've kind of covered quite a bit. You know, there's a lot of stuff you can do with this device. And you know what? Probably another really good point to make is they're really quite affordable. You know, you can get an Echo Dot, which is a small one. It looks kind of like a hockey puck, and it's like you know, $20. So they're pretty inexpensive for what all they do.
I think the actual tower is about 100, if not more, right? But
right.
But
maybe
only
a little less.
A little less, yeah. The advantage with the tower is that it's a larger speaker, but you can Bluetooth a speaker, couldn't you, to your
yeah,
Dot?
You can. So if you have the Dot, you can Bluetooth the speaker to it, where you can get a better sound out of it. But it's really not that bad of a speaker anyway. So
no, it's pretty loud. It goes up to, I think it has a total of 10 volume levels, and you could adjust those, right, with your voice.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Anthony has a question, and Tracy.
So there
Go
is
ahead,
a
Anthony.
difference. Thank you, Rebecca. So there is a difference between the regular Dot, which is the hockey puck. That's what I have in my house. I didn't know they had the other one that looks like a vase or whatever you call it. But with that said, I think you, Kevin or Sean, you brought up earlier at the beginning when you were first started with the meeting that you can hook up your Alexa or Lady A to your computer. That's, I guess, provided it's Wi-Fi or wireless, correct? How do you do that? And what can you do with Lady A with your computer?
Anthony, it's a Windows 10 app. So if you go to the Windows 10 store, and it's a free download. But that's what I had set up a while ago when I was piping Lady A into the chat, to the Zoom meeting here. It's an app. You download it, you put in your Amazon email address and password, and boom, you're set up. And so you can talk to it. And I was just screen sharing it into the meeting so where people could hear what was going on.
Okay, so you got to go into Windows 10 and download the software to be able to use your Lady A with your computer?
Yeah, yep. I mean, you got to have a microphone on your computer for it to work right. But yeah, you can, it's pretty neat.
Because I guess I need to ask my wife how that works, if she knows, if she's aware of it. Okay. And it's actually, so I can go into the Windows 10 website and just Google something for Alexa app or whatever?
Yeah,
or
it's,
tool?
if you go to the start menu and just type in store, S-T-O-R-E, it'll pull up the it's like Microsoft's App Store, kind of like you find the Google Play Store or the App Store on the iPhone. It's their store that you find it there. It's free, so free download.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
That's probably useful for everybody. Anybody that wants to be able to run their Lady A in Windows 10. That's how you find it.
Awesome.
Hey, go ahead, Tracy.
Yes, I also have a tap, and it's just as big as the Echo, but she's on a charger, and so you can take her off the charger and take her outside.
Oh.
And listen to all your music, or play. I would take her outside. When I had my granddaughter here, and she liked to listen to all her little baby songs and stuff, and so I learned all about Baby Shark and all that stuff. So there was I could have her play. I'd say play Disney music, or just play songs from Little Mermaid, and she would start playing all the music for us, and we did that each and every day.
Wow. So you're saying that you can disconnect it from the power cord, right?
Tap you can.
Tap
She's
you can.
sitting
Okay.
on a little circle thing, like a little tiny plate. And
Interesting.
when you mount her back in there, she makes a beep, because then you know that she's charging again. But you can just grab her and take her out the door. And then in the midst of all that, I can add more to my grocery list or whatever I need while I'm out there.
Fantastic.
Or you can play in.
Have another question, I believe.
Yes, it is from Anthony. Go ahead, Anthony.
Now, which Alexa model do you call that?
I believe that was the Tap, right, Sean?
Yeah, that's the Echo Tap. There are 4 or 5 different ones. We got the Tap, the Dot, just the regular Echo, and then there's the Show, and I think that's it.
And one thing to keep in mind, too, guys, is the pardon me, is that the Alexa or the Echo, it's really not a device that's exclusively for the blind or visually impaired. It's really for everybody, and it's been designed in a way to make it possible so that sighted or blind can have access to it. I mean, they call it universal access principle. And that's really how we're seeing a lot of devices go towards that now, where it's more of an inclusive approach to making sure that everybody can use it. And so the same way you're using it is the same way somebody who can see would use it. So it's kind of nice to know that we're all accessing it the same way. And
any other questions, suggestions, comments? Remember, in the morning here at 10 a.m. will be Fitness with Alex. And also that will be, again, on Thursday morning at 10. Wednesday at 10, we have our support group with Bettina and Devin as our guest speakers. And then Thursday afternoon at 1 is my JAWS and Windows Basics tutorial. Kevin has a class coming up next Monday.
I do. Thank you, Sean, for that plug. So on Monday at 1 o'clock, I have a class or tutorial about independent living. And when I say independent living, when we say that, it's kind of a broad term, right? What does that mean? And what I mean is independent living related to the home, related to how you function as a person who's blind in your home. What are some ways, be it a technique or a tool that helps you to complete task of daily living? So I'm going to share with you some things that I've learned over the years. Many of them I've learned by trial and error, a lot of error, but also some things that I've learned from folks like you, folks who are visually impaired or blind. And that's really one of the wonderful things about these meetings, is that it allows us to learn from each other, because not one of us knows everything about being blind, not Sean or I, but together we all can learn from each other. And maybe there's something that you're doing that I'm not, or that we can add to our repertoire, right? So, but again, that'll be next Monday at 1 o'clock. And I actually am going to have a little bit of show and tell. I'm going to have my camera open on my end. I'm going to be demoing or describing and showing some items and some techniques. And I think it'll make for a great discussion. So I'm looking forward to that. Well, speaking of discussion, any other comments? Does anybody feel more inclined to get an Alexa now after watching this or listening to this? Alice?
I kind of miss mine. I have for a while, but it got embarrassing. But I had the first type, so I would have had to buy a new one anyway or update it.
So Alice, what would you say would be, when you had one, what would you say would be maybe the best advantage that that it gave you?
Well, I could ask it questions about almost anything, and it would tell me. Also, my shopping list was much better. I still haven't been able to do a shopping list as well as I could with that.
Right.
But I had the old original, and so it was limited in a lot of ways. But yeah, I could ask questions and play music, and it sure, in this situation, it would sure be a lot of company.
Yeah, sure.
What happened to it?
Well, I think if Bob's still on here, he can explain it to you better than I can. But it kind of took over the house. No matter who was talking or saying something, it would get into the discussion. And I think there's buttons and all to stop that now, but there wasn't then.
Oh, okay.
We felt like somebody was listening in.
You know what? I
me with my computer, and it was like somebody was listening into our conversation.
I'll tell you a useful tip. So one thing you can do is you can change it's called the wake word. So like you can use Alexa, you can say Echo, computer, and there's one other one I can't remember. But that you can change what the wake word is. So like for example, the one in the kitchen I have different from all the others in the house. It's actually set as Alexa, whereas the others are usually set as Echo.
Yeah, I had the Echo. That's what I had.
Yeah.
So, but it was my son got it for me right after it came out. And
so it might be an older one. Okay.
yes, it was older. Did not have any buttons or anything on it.
Okay. Wow.
So it was.
Tracy.
Go ahead, Tracy.
Also, ask her, say her name and say, what was the last thing you heard? And so she'll tell you, and you can tell her to delete it if she had been listening. But I think they've gotten that a lot better. And you can hear a ding whenever she comes on. So you kind of know when, especially with my tap, boy, she dings loud whenever she comes on. But
right. Yeah, that's right. You can't have that sound on.
Yeah. Then you know when she's listening. And I can just tell her, I can ask her what was the last thing she heard, and she'd tell me, and then you can delete it if you want to.
That reminds me of a joke. This lady was always, she was like, she asked her husband, why is it when we're at home, you walk around and whisper? And he said, well, it's because Alexa is listening. And she laughed. And then Siri laughed. And then Alexa laughed.
We need a drum roll for that one.
Yes.
James, you there, buddy?
Sorry, I was on mute. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
The video you played talked real briefly about the flash briefing, and I really enjoy that. You can set up a flash briefing, is what it's called in the settings, and you can string together several skills and just have it play it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll come in the morning and just say, Lady A, what's the news? And the first thing she'll do is read me the local weather forecast. and then she'll play a 5-minute newscast from whatever radio station I want to be updated on. And then there's about a 2-minute update from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, their headlines of the day. And you can just put whatever you want into that flash briefing, and all you have to do is say, what's the news, and it'll just play it one after the other. It's really a great way to catch up on the
That's
news
awesome.
sources you want to catch up from.
So you're you're customizing it according to how you want the information delivered to you. That's awesome.
Like, and you can probably go back to the lady who lives in Pittsburgh and said she's getting ready to move. You could go back and have it read the news from Pittsburgh, so that you can keep up to date with what was going on in the old neighborhood. It's really a great option.
Wow, that's fantastic. I don't know about you, Sean, but I'm making a lot of notes here.
Yeah, it's a useful.
You guys are teaching
things
us
to try out.
Fantastic. Hello, Tracy, the lady from Pittsburgh.
Another thing that I do each day is I'll ask her my news, and she starts by telling me the Disney character of the day. And so it might be the mouse from Dumbo, or it might be something from Star Wars or whatever. And so each day there's a different character that she talks about. Then she starts on the news, but then I can also, and she finishes up the news, and then I can start asking her for different counties in in Allegheny County, which is here. I can ask her how many people have the coronavirus, and she'll tell me. And I can ask her for Fort Worth, and I ask her for Hardin County, Texas, because that's where my sister is. And so I ask her different areas where Rose is, where you are, and I ask for different informations about the coronavirus and what's going on. So I get all that information also.
Alexa, who's the Disney character of the day?
I was just wondering that.
Here's something I found on the web. According to Fool.com, Mickey Mouse is still a mainstay at Disney, but his days as a feature character are long gone.
See here, I can ask her, Alexa.
Oh, I think we lost Tracy there.
I can ask her, Alexa, tell me the news. Alexa, stop. She's telling me about Todd from The Fox and the Hound, and it was the fox, and he ends up taking when they were little, this fox and the hound, they were friends. Well, then when they grew up, they realized that they were no longer friends. They were supposed to be enemies, but then this big bear comes out to try to destroy the hound. Well, then the fox helps him because they were victims.
That reminds me, Alexa, what did the fox say?
Hotty, 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 ho.
What was that again, Sean?
Alexa, what did the fox say?
Wah, wah, way do.
Oh, man. Well, we've certainly enjoyed having everybody here today, as usual, and look forward to the rest of the events this week. If you have friends that don't know what we're doing, tell them about it. And it doesn't matter where they are. They can be in Pennsylvania, Washington, New York, wherever. Invite your friends, your family, whoever wants to come and join us, especially on Wednesday. I think you will all really enjoy Wednesday morning.
Yes.